Okay, Scorpio, this is your weekly love reading for the second week of September, so this weekend going into next week. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Scorpio's highest good. For the one they're thinking of, the one that they're dealing with, the one that they're thinking of. How is Scorpio feeling with regards to this connection in the second week of September? Okay, I'm going to do a 9-card spread, 3 cards for your feelings, 3 cards for your person's feelings, 3 cards for the outcome. I'll clarify why they feel the way that they feel, get messages from them, and I'll get you some advice from Spirit, okay? Okay, so you are feeling like the Queen of Wands, okay? Confident, ambitious, driven, okay? Very, very capable. I would say that because you're being shown as a queen, you could be the head of a household, you could be in a high position in your workplace, or just presenting as someone who's very mature, someone who's done a lot of things, achieved a lot of things. You're looking for fairness and balance, okay, with regards to this relationship. Okay, we've got the Star and the King of Pentacles. So you're either healing in regards to a King of Pentacles, or you see them as wish fulfillment, okay? The King of Pentacles, you know, we've got a king and a queen here, you know, from different suits. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, or somebody who takes care more of earthly matters, okay? So earnings, decisions over the house, decisions over the business. We're talking about income. You see the tree in the background, the Queen of Pentacles, the counterpart to this one, who's in the feminine energy. She has leaves on the tree, she's a nurturer, she's abundant, she's creative, she's warm. The King of Pentacles, the masculine energy, is more of a leader, the decision maker, more logical, more cerebral, less of a nurturer, but still, it's a warm-hearted, generous person. They will give to others, but they can be more close to the idea of that, where a Queen of Pentacles, someone who's more in their feminine energy, would perhaps give people more chances or be over generous. Not necessarily over generous, but more willing to be generous to more people. Yeah, someone very, very warm, okay? This person is a little bit more reserved in that way, but they're a good earner and a good provider, okay? They're someone you can rely on, okay? Very, very stable energy. So yeah, I think you see them as wish fulfillment, because I'm not getting anything negative, but I think that you're looking for a situation that's fair. So perhaps you have an idea that you would like to present, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, okay? This is the Queen of Wands, so again, we've got, because it's a feminine energy and it's a queen rather than a king, is someone who's in their feminine. Doesn't mean you are female, but you are warm to everybody, you're inviting to everybody, you are welcoming, okay? But you're passionate, driven and capable of a lot of success, okay? So you've got that fire energy. You might be a Scorpio with fire placements. So you could have Aries, Leo or Sagittarius moon, or some other placements in your birth your birth chart, okay? This person may just be, they may not necessarily be a Taurus, a Virgo or a Capricorn, but they may have that in their chart, or they may just be the one that deals with earthly matters out of the two of you and makes the decisions over, you know, which, I don't know, which electricity provider you use, or like when to switch, or, you know, taking care of the insurance, or, you know, how much can be spent, you know, on groceries, like budgeting maybe. If you are, you know, like creative, if you are warm, if you are driven, you could be someone who has ideas about, you know, I'm trying to think of examples. It could be like the overall direction of the family. You might have really good ideas for how to make more money, or how the business should change that you have, you know, between the two of you, or, you know, come up with new products. You might be more in the creative. It could be that you're both, you know, but you're like highly driven, where this person is more practical, slow and steady. You might just have different personalities, you know. They could be more low-key, where you're more upbeat and kind of like loud music, fast music. They might be more, you know, need quiet and calm. It might be just differences in personality, or it could be different roles within the household. I mean, you're both, like, you're a king and a queen, so I get equality, but I don't know if you have this person yet, so, or you're looking to become someone who, you know, is someone who's calmer and takes care of practicalities and is less, you know, like warm towards others, but less sociable. You might be changing your own priorities. That could be you viewing yourself in a different way. Let's have a look and get some cards for your person, and then I'll be able to understand. Okay, so your person has the Ten of Pentacles, so they are, I think this is your person then. Because look, here's the King of Pentacles, so you see them as wish fulfillment, okay? So they have the Ten of Pentacles, they have generational wealth, they are an excellent provider. They likely have a house, a car, they might have multiple properties, they might have lots of savings, they might have a business, okay? They've got the World card, okay? So the World card is about taking life's rough with the smooth, okay? It's about understanding that there's periods of both, okay? That we'll all experience quieter periods, busier periods, more exciting periods, more boring periods, you know, periods of drama, periods of stability, periods of lots of change, you know, periods of not very much change. Like, everything is ebbs and flows. It's the rough and the smooth, okay? One can't exist and has no context without the other. So it's about like taking on challenges and understanding that that's just part of life, right? You see that there's through that window there's a shooting star, you know, flying around the world. So there's little miracles and little good things that happen, and big good things that happen. So that wasn't great English, but let's you get what I'm saying. Let's get another one. The Page of Wands. So they're about to embark on a new adventure, okay? There's going to be challenges, but they are driven, they're passionate about it, something that they want, okay? Interesting. Let's get 3 cards for the outcome. I can't understand if you are together with this person or you're in a marriage. I mean, we're not getting knights or pages. For you, we've got the Queen of Wands, and I feel like you see your person as wish fulfillment, and they are a King of Pentacles. They have a lot of wealth. They're about to start a new phase, but here is that width. So let's get 3 cards for the outcome. It just says you're looking for balance, and maybe you're a single mum or a divorcee and you're looking for, you know, to kind of partner up with somebody who has these attributes, or you've got your eye on someone that has these attributes. But I haven't got any cups. So far I've got all wands and pentacles. So normally I'd see cups. Let's see. That's why I feel like you're not together, but I don't know. Okay, we've got the 7 of Swords and the Fool. So someone's being strategic about taking a leap of faith, okay? They're planning to take a leap of faith, jump into a new cycle, but they're having to be careful how they do it. They're not necessarily discussing it with other people. They're not necessarily doing it on a whim. It's planned out, it's methodical, it's a discreet approach, okay? So that could be you or them or both. You might, for example, it's not necessarily sinister, you might, for example, do that if you have children and you want to date someone and you don't want to involve them in that yet, you know, only when it sort of becomes something that you're a bit more sure about. You might say, look, I've, you know, actually been dating somebody and I'd like you to meet them. You know, there's no point, is there, like, introducing them to someone on date number 1. There's just no point, because they'll get attached and they'll get hurt, or, you know, you don't know enough about this person to be exposing them to your children, okay? So, sometimes people have really good reason for just being a bit discreet, a little bit low-key, keeping things to themselves for a little while. Certainly, like, in-laws, you know, get carried away and start thinking, you know, 5 years down the line, 20 years down the line, and getting way too ahead of themselves because, you know, for some reason you're not allowed to kind of just suss things out the way that you used to. I don't agree with that, but I get why people worry, but they shouldn't try to control what happens, okay? We've got the Queen of Swords reversed, so this is somebody who, okay, the Queen of Swords upright is somebody who's intelligent, they do research, they are very cerebral. Swords is information, it's facts, it's the truth. So in the upright, it's very, very positive. It's someone who's very, you can't get anything by them. They're very observant. They're very clever. They do their research. Things are well thought through. They're very honourable, trustworthy. In the reverse, that sword is wielded in a negative way. Okay, so it's maybe saying things that are hurtful. It's communication that is not good, okay? It's communication that is blunt. It can cut through people, you know, cut through that protective layer that we normally kind of soften our words, don't we, to avoid hurting people. That sword, when it's, you know, wielded to attack with, is going to slice people, it's going to dice people, it's going to chop heads, it's going to stab people in the heart, stab people in the back. That sword is a weapon, okay? So when it's wielded in the wrong way or misused, you know, so it can be lying, it can be coldness, it can be being overly detached, not thinking about what you're saying, being angry, more than angry, more like, yeah, saying hurtful things or misusing information or something like this. It's an ouch effect, kind of like. So why is somebody doing that? Yeah, like, as I said, like, there's no cups here. Maybe I'm wrong and that's not a wish fulfillment, maybe that's healing and you want your fair amount from, you know, like, if how you're feeling with regards to this situation could, you know, all be about pentacles, and then someone's going through a new start. Maybe you want your fair share of money from this person that was a counterpart, right? Because they have plenty of wealth. They're thinking about how life, you got to take the rough with the smooth, and they're starting as a page on a brand new cycle. So I feel like someone could be keeping money from you, you know, like, for example, if their children stay with you, or even if they go with, you know, to live with another parent, you need your fair share of money from the joint assets that you had, or you need to split a business, or you need to, you know, be bought out of a mortgage if they're gonna take the whole house and the kids, you know what I mean? It's got to, it could be that that star card is a card of healing, and you're not together with this person anymore, and that's why you would present as a bit more malicious, a bit more malignant, you know, not so benign, but actually quite lashing out, arguments. That makes more sense to me, okay, because I don't feel that you're together. There's no cups here. Yeah, look, the Five of Pentacles reversed is coming out from the cold. It's recovery from financial loss. So, Scorpio, I feel like you, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, you have divorced or are divorcing or separating from a very long-term, very serious commitment, and I feel that you are trying to get money either towards childcare, you know, food, electricity, everything that, you know, children need stuff all the time, and they don't just need it, they want it. So in order to co-parent from living in different, you know, households, if you are joint responsible for your babies, then you need to equally provide for them, and it's not fair if the person that has them living with them is just constantly paying out X amount of money and what they're actually getting from you is worked out and costed off of the absolute bare minimum, because there's always things that you end up having to pay for that are not costed up, right? It's not realistic to give the absolute minimum. Like, how much is that person actually having to spend per month, and let's split that in half. You know, if they are shopaholic and they're buying things unnecessarily, you know, that's out of control. But like, if you agree, okay, it's going to be X amount on Christmas, birthdays, and, you know, it's actually costing this much on fuel and food, and, you know, they actually want to start, I don't know, just like, there's like initial agreements, then it might need to be reviewed, because say if they start high school and now they want to, you know, have a better mobile phone, that's not you just wanting to spoil them, that's a kid saying, I want this and I'm going to be really unhappy if you didn't give it to me, and mum and dad have to both decide, and mum and dad both have to pay. It's not fair that you go, well, no, you know, they've got a phone, and if you end up getting them something more expensive, that's going to be your cost. It's got to be the both of you. You need to try, don't you, to parent as a unit, even if you're not in a relationship, a romantic relationship anymore. You are co-parenting, you are co-pilots of this, you know, family dynamic. You are both responsible for providing equally for your son, daughter, whoever. you can't say to a partner it's going to be the bare minimum and they have to put up with the child's tantrums and arguments and slamming doors and this and that. You've got to both explain to that child in front of them, this is what we can afford to spend on you, this is what we are spending on you, and you're not to ask either of us for more or make anyone's life a misery. We've got to work together, you know, and be a family. Even though we're in separate households, we are, you know, both in agreement that this is the amount you're getting, and you've got to somehow like, and what, you know, what some people will do is they'll be like, well, if it's extra, you're going to have to pay it because I don't have the money for that right now. And it's just they'll start making excuses not to give you, you know, half. It'll be like, well, this is what I'm giving you and it shouldn't cost more than that. It's like, well, it is costing more than that. And you're going to have to speak to them and explain why they're not getting that thing because I can afford it, you know, and I think you probably can. You just, I don't know, maybe that's not like a good enough example, but you know what I'm saying, like maybe it's to do with someone you were involved with who is not paying, you know, half for something for some reason, like, or you need to divide an asset like a house or something, you know, and they're refusing to sell the house or, you know, dragging it out or whatever. I don't know. You get where I'm going with it anyway. I don't feel like you're currently together with this person, and I didn't get any cups here. I didn't get any heartbreak. I don't think you're like crying at night wanting this person back, and I don't think there's much emotion there. I think it's like more like, you know, we know each other and we need to sort out finances for some reason. I mean, it's a weekly love reading, so that's the only reason I'm like assuming it's a love thing. Love as in you were once in love or once, you know, romantically involved. Let's clarify, why have they got the Ten of Pentacles? Commitment, things are getting serious. Give me one for the world, please. Perhaps they want, you know, to get like legally divorced and make things legit and formal because, you know, they've met someone else, so they're like, okay, like, you know, I need to make sure this is like actually dealt with, and you might have both kind of put it off because it was like too emotional at the time, and, you know, you didn't want to like force the issue, or you didn't have the money for the solicitor's fees, so you were both just like, oh, we'll just leave it then for a bit. I don't know, but, you know. So we've got the World, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, intimacy, sexual chemistry, reminiscing, distance, you and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Oh, this is feeling a bit messy, you know. Maybe they think this is just a rough patch and you're going to change your mind, you know, so they don't want to like, for example, if you were like, look, if you know, are going to keep the kids living with you, like, that's fine, but we need to, you know, still downsize that house or, like, release some funds for me because I'm, like, struggling, or I don't know. I just feel like this is messy stuff in an existing, like, family dynamic where the two adults are now living separately and having to divide everything. And give me one for the Page of Wands. Maybe they're hoping for a rebirth and you're like, absolutely not. Like, never in a million years. It's really sad, actually. I shouldn't like laugh about it, but it's like, Some people, you know, are amicable when they divorce, and some people really aren't, and they're just always hoping that you'll want to get back together. Health issues could arise. Interesting. I mean, that can cover physical, you know, or mental health. Why have we got the Seven of Swords and the Fool? Why have we got the sense of strategic, planning a new cycle? There's someone else. Okay, so maybe you or them is, you know, I would say them. Maybe they're looking for, you know, or have met a new person. You're like, right, well, we need to get these assets like divided because I'm not having them benefiting from anything I've provided or earned or paid into. Okay, we've got Move On, Guardian Angel and Gold Digger. Okay, so this is definitely a financial reading. Someone else has come on the scene. You've got a loved one that's watching over you, and you've been encouraged to move on, you know, like from the arguments, get this legally kind of tied up with a bow on, and, you know, you can just move forward because there's a gold digger around somewhere. And we've got the Five of Pentacles reversed, which is a good card to get as an outcome because that is coming out of financial hardship. Upright is financial hardship, poverty. This is a recovery from, or getting help from somebody, or, you know, support arriving. So your finances will recover. So just to make that clear, that's what you've got as the outcome. But the Spirit's letting you know that your financial situation will recover. Okay, support is coming, hope is coming, decisions will be made. Okay, lawyer up if you can't sort it out, you know, and get what's reasonably yours. Lawyer up. Don't argue over furniture and stuff like that. The major assets and earnings are what you need to think about. Just make it as least messy as possible. Like, do you really want reminders of the past all around you? Do you really want to keep dragging it out? And, you know, I get very attached to objects and items, so I probably would want some of it, but sometimes it's best to let it go. Love spell, you've been bewitched. It may be that you also get, you know, distracted with a new person, and that just lightens your load and just breaks up some of that stress. That's what I'm getting from that. I don't think that it's, you know, anything other than that. Commitment. If I follow you, I could lose everything. Right, so that person's worried about getting involved with their new person while the assets are still, you know, as a whole, and you are still married, because if you're legally married and you're found to have an affair, that can affect, you know, what money comes out of it, and, you know, because you basically break your contract, whereas it's not. Other circumstances could be that it's just irreconcilable differences and it's no one's fault. Everything's divided up fairly. Where someone's found to be, you know, committing adultery or cheating, can make it much more acrimonious and much more disadvantageous, and change the outcome, I think, in terms of dividing up assets. So people need to be really, really careful with that. I'm ready. So that's interesting because they've got the Fool, and down here that's Aries. We've got the Fool down here, so I think they're being strategic. Yeah, look at this, right, I'm going to show you. They've got someone else, the Fool, and being strategic, and they're holding the generational assets right now, which could be houses, cars. They're still married to you. They're worried about this change. They think they could lose everything, okay? They are either an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, or they have those placements, or that's the energy that they're in, because they have the Page of Wands. Okay, so they're dealing with the rough and the smooth. They're in their fire energy, driven, passionate. They're ready to take a leap of faith. That's the Fool, the major arcana of a brand new cycle, right? So they are worried about this. They're definitely like possibly having health issues, worrying about this new phase that they're entering, because of what it means financially, and you know, the fact they're technically still married to you. And we've got Gold Digger, Guardian, a lost loved one watches over you, move on. Someone's unavailable and a waste of time, okay? So I think there's arguments, because this is when you say things either you don't mean or to deliberately hurt people. You know, the worst way to hurt each other when you've been married or when you've been in a serious commitment, because you tell each other everything, you make yourselves vulnerable to one another, you know your deepest, darkest secrets, you know one another's weaknesses, limitations, things that will really hurt, and it's easy to do that, right? But at the end of the day, if you have created lives together by bringing little children into the world, you know, try to appeal to each other's better nature and just say, like, I'm looking for what's fair, like, I'm not going to make this like a problem for you going forward. Like, you won't hear from me unless it's just to discuss childcare arrangements, you know. The good news is you've got, as the outcome, recovery from this financial hardship and a love spell. Now, I don't have anything like the judgment or a call to action. I don't have like divine intervention. I do have someone looking over you. Someone that's passed away is looking over you, but maybe that's just the other person going to see your point of view, and you'll be able to like hold your tongue and resolve things. You know, I don't see it like having to. That could be justice, could be the scales of justice, but it doesn't feel so formal. It feels like you're, you know, both kind of coming to terms with the situation. Let's carry on, get a message. So my voice is really croaky. I think it's my larynx from using my voice a lot. So sorry it doesn't sound as nice as it normally does. Strength, ego. Yeah, somewhat more. This looks really stressful, guys. Like, even if you're jealous or kind of annoyed or angry that your person that you're having to deal with has met someone new, or they're happy to be breaking up, they are really, really stressed, okay? And we've got health issues could arise, so try to deal with this, you know, like, without the argument, hold your tongue, you know, try to do this, like, sometimes it's better to get a solicitor involved and not, you know, try to sort it out between the two of you, because it just, when you have a mediator, it can really avoid, you know, things getting too emotional, and they can keep the flow of, like, settlements going, you know, like, keep the flow, keep the pace, and keep things more business-like. Whichever way you feel is going to be better, you know, do that. I'm too afraid to talk. Yeah, they think that you don't know that they've got someone else, but sorry if I'm revealing this to you, but it was something that was going to happen anyway, so they are really worried about you finding that out, and, you know, say, like, if you do care about this person, you might not, and you might think, well, good, because I don't, you know, I'm not happy for them or whatever, but it's the father of your kids or someone you've made memories with if you don't have children with them. And I'm sure at the end of the day you wouldn't want, you know, someone to become extremely ill, but them meeting someone else is inevitable. Do you know what I mean? If anything, they're going to be more willing to kind of get things divided up and not chase you or confuse you or anything. I don't want to lose you, so we've got Gold Digger, Guardian, and Move On. Unless your person was the Gold Digger. But I don't get that for some reason. Because they show up as the King of Pentacles. So surely if they've got the Ten of Pentacles, they've got things that a Gold Digger would want. Does that make sense? Give me one for love spell, please. 4 can also refer to they don't want to lose the house, or they don't want to lose, the Gold Digger doesn't want to lose what they view as their new stability. Does that make sense? Love spell, I'm manifesting you. So you could have the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. You are my everything. You're going to meet someone that supports you financially, and I don't mean pays for everything for you, I mean like can contribute. So, you know, where you had dual income, you move to single income, you feel the difference, guys. You feel the difference, and then, but you are going to meet someone new, and it won't always be like this. Okay, so that's a good thing to remember. This is now, it's not forever, right? It's what needs to happen now, it's not forever. If you don't want to be with anyone else, you don't have to be, but there's someone that is manifesting you. So what that says to me is if you're not aware of anybody around you that might like you, Spirit's bringing that in as like a bit of divine justice, you know, financial and emotional justice, right? Spirit, can you give some advice, please? So Scorpio, your overall outcome is really, really good. You will recover from this financial hardship, okay? Any advice, please, Spirit, for Scorpio? Recharge. There's nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. Get a break from all of this. Deal with it when you need to and switch off, okay? As soon as you've like made the relevant phone calls, completed the relevant documents, as soon as you've done whatever the next thing was that needed doing, go and get a breather from it, okay? Get out in nature. You know, if you can't calm down and you're stressed and you know, you go into your local spot and that normally works and it's not working, go somewhere more like outside the local area. Distance really helps. Anchor. Keep yourself grounded. Yeah, see, that's all part of keeping yourself grounded, because you can get way too emotional, way too much in your head, and you know, this stuff is really stressful, right? So take care of yourself. If it resonated, give me a like, give it a share, subscribe, follow, repost, and yeah, you're very welcome to cross-watch this person's sign if you know what that is. I'm getting heavy earth from it, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but you know, they're showing up as a King of Pentacles, so heavy earth or heavy earth placements. There could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn moon, so you'll know what star sign they are by looking up their date of birth and by, you know, looking at, you know, moon sign for that date of birth. But they've got this money to give you, and it seems that that's what's there. You know, that is literally what you're owed. And there is a gold digger somewhere on the scene, but there's someone looking over you, watching over you, okay, which is like lovely to know that. When people pass away, they are energy, okay, they return to the universe. This is the flower of life. Okay, it's the flower of the universe, so that pattern has no start and it has no end. That is how energy works. People, money and things is all energy, okay? So whether we're in the human form or we're no longer in our human, body, we just return, okay, to the universe in that 5D form. And people are around you, they are present. If they passed away, they can see what you're doing with your life right now. They are proud of the things that you are achieving and have achieved since the day they passed away. They have been at your side, like cheerleading you. They can get messages to you through mediums. If you watch Tyler Henry, or you haven't heard of Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, watch his programs. They're all over YouTube. They're like, there's recent ones and they date back like so many seasons, like up to like 10 years ago, I think. But it's really helped me to extend my knowledge of like what happens after life and how relatives might try to contact you or send you a sign, and through a medium you can get very specific messages from them. But yeah, like there's someone watching over you, okay? And you've got new love coming in. You've got love spell. I'm manifesting you. Number one, you are someone's wish fulfillment. You are someone's like perfect, and they're coming in. That's manifesting. So you're also, going to get their income, like contributing to yours. So things will, it's ebbs and flows, guys. Things will pick up again. Whether that's in a few months or a year, I don't know. Whether it's tomorrow, I don't know. But as for this to be in the outcome, I'd say it's imminent, like days or a couple of weeks, because it wouldn't show in your outcome cards, okay? So yeah, so if it resonates, that's fantastic. Make sure you share the post, okay? And I will see you in the next one.